Good day and welcome to Jamaica Magazine. I'm Adrian Atkinson. As you tune in, take a moment to reflect and remain in a spirit of gratitude for life, family, and the blessings we often overlook. On today's program, we explore Jamaica's disaster emergency communication system, and then we'll get into how to go about adopting a child in Jamaica. Stay with us.
Good day, I'm Twyla Whelan and this is your JS News for Wednesday, April 29, 2026. The National Reconstruction and Resilience Authority NARA bill has been approved by the House of Representatives and will now go before the Senate for further debate and approval. After a lengthy debate that went into the early hours of Wednesday morning, the bill was passed with 20 amendments. It secured 31 yes and 15 no votes, while 16 members were absent. In closing the debate, before the vote on each clause of the bill, Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness acknowledged the concerns and welcomed the recommendations put forward by civil society groups and others. While making room for changes where feasible, he asserted that government was designing the legislation to ensure it is sufficiently broad and not restrictive in its provisions.
But you want the legislation to be easily interpreted, well understood, and direct and to the point. And so we try to bring a legislation here that creates a framework that is easily understood, easily interpreted, and gets to the point of what it is we want to achieve.
He assured that the functions of NARA would be very specific.
More than that, members, it is time-bounded. So this is not going to go on indefinitely. And the policy direction for NARA will be very clear. They will be written and made public. But more than that, the scope of NARA, I heard somebody say NARA is not narrow. That's not true. NARA will be focused on a specific set of projects that will be published.
The Prime Minister further assured that NARA's structure did not take away from existing resources in the government. As the government seeks to build resilience in the water sector, it will be applying the use of technology to capture critical data in real time. The Water Resources Authority, WRA, in partnership with the Met Service, will be rolling out a long-range, wide-area network over a 3-year period. This was among several initiatives announced by the Minister of Water, Environment and Climate Change, Matthew Samuda, in his contribution to the 2026-27 sectoral debate on Tuesday. Minister Samuda says the initiative will strengthen Jamaica's ability to detect signs of drought, monitor flood conditions as they happen, and respond with greater speed.
Hundreds of field sensors and network gateways will capture real-time data on groundwater levels, river flows, and rainfall across the island. Even in our most remote off-grid communities, this data will flow into centralized platforms with advanced analytical tools. Decisions are only as strong as the data that informs them, and this initiative ensures that Jamaica is operating with the best possible information in real time.
According to the minister, the need arises from the recent flooding associated with Hurricane Melissa in communities such as Content, Chigwell, and Newmarket.
This initiative represents a shift from periodic data collection to continuous real-time monitoring, placing Jamaica in a stronger position to manage its water resources proactively in an increasingly climate-impacted environment.
Going a step further, the WRA is finalizing a comprehensive project proposal to secure external funding for the establishment of an early warning system in Port Maria. Minister Samuda says the aim is to strengthen preparedness in vulnerable communities. He says while Port Maria is not an isolated case, the town has experienced repeated and severe flooding over the years. In addition, review for amendments has commenced on the Water Resources Act and the Flood Water Control Act. Notice was published on the weekend to advise of the intended changes to be pursued. Continuing his presentation, Minister Samuda also announced that a River Management Authority and a Keys Management Authority would be established within the National Environment and Planning Agency, NEPA.
The River Management Authority will focus on risk mapping and early warning, sediment and debris management, enforcement against encroachment. The Keys Management Authority is necessary to ensure coordinated management of our keys, which are a sensitive ecosystem, but also incredibly valuable economically.
In the meantime, Minister Samuda is reporting that designs have been completed for canals intended to re-wet the wetlands in Negril, Westmoreland.
Now, this is incredibly important even for shoreline stabilization and protecting what is a natural asset that is the envy of the world. That work in terms of building the canals will commence this year.
He shares that the government intends to complete transaction work for the development of an interpretive center at the Royal Palm Reserve in Westmoreland. The area will be renovated to allow persons to visit and study Jamaica's endemic species, engage in bird watching, river tours, and other activities. Meanwhile, the government is working to complete climate change legislation during the current fiscal year, which ends March 31, 2027. Portfolio Minister Matthew Samuda reveals that his ministry was partnering with the United Kingdom Foreign Commonwealth and Development Office to deliver the legislation. It is being drafted to provide legal backing for climate policies while ensuring accountability across sectors.
This is essential for delivering sustained and measurable outcomes, greater transparency, and improved policy implementation and increased investor confidence.
Arguing that climate change must be treated as a core economic issue, Minister Samuda asserts that a strong legal framework positions Jamaica to access additional international funding and partnerships. In other news, work has begun on the development and implementation of an integrated electronic case management system within Jamaica's justice system. The platform will introduce a paperless digital court process that will modernize the administration of justice and improve efficiency across the sector. The initiative is being led by the Ministry of Justice and Constitutional Affairs in partnership with the Rwanda Cooperation Initiative. It also has support from Global Affairs Canada and the United Nations Development Programme, UNDP. Chief Justice Brian Sykes says the reform is central to improving the justice system.
This reform goes to the heart of how justice is initiated, managed, and delivered. And it speaks directly to our constitutional duty, that is the courts, to provide timely, fair, and transparent adjudication to every Jamaican.
The system has a price tag of approximately $4.5 million. A 12-member delegation from Rwanda is in Jamaica to support discussions on the rollout of the system. The Chief Justice also highlighted the role of Synergy International Systems, which is providing the technology and implementation support for the project.
Their e-case solution is designed to handle complex workflows across courts, prosecution services, and related agencies, with modules for electronic filing, digital evidence, hearing management, sentencing and enforcement, and detailed performance reporting.
And finally, the Southeast Regional Health Authority, SARA, has ramped up its immunization campaign, offering free vaccines to the public as part of Vaccination Week in the Americas. The immunization campaign runs from April 20 to May 9 under the theme, Your Decision Makes a Difference, Immunization for All. The aim is to boost protection against vaccine-preventable diseases. It is also part of a wider regional push to eliminate more than 30 communicable diseases by the year 2030. Free vaccines will be available at multiple locations across Kingston and St. Andrew, St. Catherine and St. Thomas, with services targeting children, adults, the elderly, and even workplace groups. Persons are encouraged to walk in or make appointments and to bring their vaccination cards. For details on locations and schedules, members of the public can contact their nearest health center or visit SARA's social media pages, X at the SARAJM and TikTok at the SARAJM1. And that's it for JIS News today. I'm Twyla Whelan. Thanks for watching.
As the hurricane season approaches and with earthquakes possible at any time, we now take a comprehensive look at the Disaster Emergency Communication System, DECOMS, designed and implemented to strengthen how authorities respond to emergencies across Jamaica. This feature explores the system in depth.
Jamaica is no stranger to the powerful forces of nature. From hurricanes and floods to landslides, these natural disasters remind us of the importance of readiness.
So we have mainstreamed in our governance disaster preparedness and readiness as a means of building resilience against the climate change issues that affect small island developing states like Jamaica.
In terms of the National Disaster Risk Management Framework, it's actually one of the best, if not the best in the Americas.
We are in the best place we've ever been in our history in terms of our state of readiness.
When disaster strikes, all eyes turn to the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management, ODPEM. In a crisis, effective and reliable communication is of utmost importance. That's why the government, through ODPEM, has forged a partnership with the Japan International Cooperation Agency, JICA, to strengthen the island's emergency communication system. The ODPEM-JICA collaboration aims to improve the emergency communication infrastructure in Jamaica by installing wireless communication systems and relevant equipment, thereby contributing to swift and robust communication between first responders and government offices to respond efficiently to emergencies or disaster.
DECOM management to Spanish Town Fire Station. This is a radio check. How do you read? Over.
We are putting in place the necessary infrastructure for us to respond to these disasters. We would have already put in place all the necessary radios in their various locations. The Jamaica Fire Brigade, the police, every arm of government is equipped to communicate before and after. And this is a game changer for the people of Jamaica.
You don't want a system where you are relying on cell phones for communication. We saw what happened in Beryl, where a lot of the cell towers went and there was communication blackout in some areas across the country. What you want to ensure is that there are redundancy to your communication, and our radar network gives us that kind of redundancy. In terms of the design, it is robust enough that allows us that if one of the nodes go down, we're still able to communicate across the country, and it gives us roughly probably 98% coverage across the island.
Changing from an analog to a digital system is not an easy feat. However, with the development of the Project Implementing Unit, the ODPEM is sure the DECOMS and Early Warning System EWANS will be effective in strengthening Jamaica's responsiveness. Coupled with the island's Early Warning System EWANS, the DECOMS are expected to effectively bolster Jamaica's responsiveness to natural disasters.
The objective of the project for the improvement of emergency communication system in Jamaica is to enhance Jamaica's public safety and our national emergency communication system. This national emergency communication system is critical for the coordination of emergency and incident response among our various government entities or key government responders. It will allow for emergency agencies to communicate via one common platform. We would have installed radio equipment to include mobile radios, base station radios, and handheld radios at a number of government entities, to include the Jamaica Fire Brigade, the Jamaica Constabulary Force, the Ministry of Health, the local authorities, and a number of other entities island-wide. We would have installed early warning systems under the project across 2 parishes in 3 communities, namely Old Harbour Bay in St. Catherine and along the Bog Walk to Angels Corridor in St. Catherine, and also in Port Maria, St. Mary. This, with the installation of this early warning system, it will create that alertness that it is a multi-hazard system. So it will be able to alert residents, commuters, persons who utilize these areas, these urban centers, for example, Port Maria, about the pending hazards or threats that these communities will face.
This site is owned by Aerotel. They manage the telecommunication systems for Jamaica Civil Aviation Authority. Part of the benefit of co-locating at this site is that this site is designed for aeronautical purposes. So they have a very high standard, especially where power is concerned, and also for protection against lightning. And also provides quite a bit of redundancy just by virtue of its location. However, our system is designed to run entirely on a battery system, and pretty much we have our systems charged by their power. Should a case happen where we lose power, whether from GPS or their power system, our battery system will allow us to have service for up to 5 days. This site here in Coopers Hill provides coverage for the entire corporate area. So all of the radios in this area will be connected to this repeater site here at Coopers Hill, and that's another advantage that we have at this location.
The DCOM system will also help several stakeholders within the National Disaster Risk Management structure to mobilize and mitigate crises.
During the implementation phase of the project of the DCOM system, the firefighters were basically embedded with a team of engineers that came down from Japan to install the equipment across the island. DCOM system that is now at ADPEM is manned by firefighters. So that's the rock and the knock, as is referred to. It's currently manned by firefighters, and these firefighters will remain at ADPEM, manning the system for as long as it's necessary. What we have done with this system is to make it a part of our daily communications. Once we're out in the field conducting, whether it's rescue or conducting firefighting operations, then the team members can communicate back to Central in terms of giving updates, live updates as to what is happening. If there is need for additional resources, that can be communicated in a reliable way, unlike what we have now.
We're able to introduce it as part of the communication platform during burial, and we were able to see some results. So it's a good thing.
The DCOM system is here to build resilience, plan for natural disasters, activate response efforts, and mitigate the impacts of disasters while maintaining an active and reliable communication channel.
Are you confident that you are the legal owner of your property? Take action to secure your property ownership. Get a registered certificate of title and become the legal owner of your property. To register your property and obtain a certificate of title, you will need to provide a tax registration number (TRN), a valid government-issued identification, a survey diagram, documentation to prove ownership, up-to-date property tax certificate, the names, addresses, and occupations of 2 neighbors over the age of 50 who are not family members and can give a declaration on your behalf. Proof that you have been in open, undisturbed, and undisputed possession of the property for 12 years or more. For further information on registering your property and obtaining a certificate of title, contact the National Land Agency at 876-750-5263 or 876-946-5263. Email asknla@nla.gov.jm or message us at WhatsApp at 876-418-5089. The National Land Agency. One agency, one goal to serve you better.
A child is a blessing, yet for many, parenthood may not come easily for a variety of reasons. Adoption offers a meaningful opportunity to provide love, care, and stability to a child in need. Up next, we explore the process of adopting a child in Jamaica, outlining each step from application to final approval.
Thank you for your interest in adoption in Jamaica. Please download the adoption guidelines below, which are intended to assist you with the completion of your application form. You are required to complete and enclose the following documents: application forms, child's medical forms, adult's medical forms, any other information relevant to your case, such as affidavits, birth certificates, death certificates, and court orders. That's the beginning of your adoption process. You're now on your way to becoming a child's legal guardian.
Adoption is a very special process. It's a very significant step that persons take in their lives, and it is very rewarding. And I would implore persons who are interested in adopting to go for it. And as I said before, go for it with an open mind. People misconceive adoption because the stigma that is attached to it, in that persons, I don't know if maybe it is a cultural thing, but persons don't willingly talk about adoption. It's mostly a secret, and you find that people go away with the wrong ideas, in that persons believe that maybe the process is too long, maybe they believe that we should not have such a rigorous process, but you have to understand it's a life commitment, and you want to ensure that a child being adopted is being placed in the best possible placement. Close adoptions are adoptions that are basically done in Jamaica now, in that no information is given to either the adopters about the biological parents, and the biological parents don't know about the adoptive parents. The process for adopting overseas is basically very similar to the process for Jamaica, whereby you are needed to fill out the form, get the necessary supporting documents, birth certs, marriage certs. However, overseas applicants need to ensure that they have home studies, because that is the way you're going to find out about the overseas person's background. So they would have to get the services of a home service provider, especially for those in the US, and that home service provider will give them a comprehensive information about their, including police checks and everything. So they need that. And then after that process, they will submit it to us, and it will go through the regular rigorous process of identifying the birth parents, doing the necessary interview, visiting the child, getting the child's opinion, and then all of that is summarized and placed in a report along with the case file to the adoption board for approval. Persons who are allowed to adopt children in Jamaica are single male, female, couples, persons over 25 years. If you are a relative, you have to be 18 years and over. The adoption board is a body established in the Act that has to give approval for all adoption applications before they can go to the court for finalization. The Adoption Board is the only agency that is authorized to approve adoption cases. So there's no other agency that has that authority.
Let adoption work for you. Visit the Child Protection and Family Services Agency website at childprotection.gov.jm or visit the agency at 48 Duke Street or any of the parish's offices island-wide to learn how you can start the process.
How did we get here? Here's a quick summary. Prepare your goat. You can buy a pound or 2. Right here we have around 2 pounds ready to cook. Then take your preferred curry and get started. Now combine all the ingredients. Salt, black pepper, pimento seeds, curry powder, Scotch bonnet pepper to make it spicy. To add more flavor, add potato, your choice of fresh spice, and milk. Then let it simmer. There you have it. You're on the road to becoming your own celebrity chef. Don't forget about the garden salad or Jamaican curry goat served with rice and gungo peas, and of course, or garden salad. Enough said.
What are your dreams for Jamaica?
My name is Janelle Griffiths, and my dream for Jamaica is that there will be less violence in the country.
My dream for Jamaica is for the crime and violence rate to decrease so that Jamaica may become a better place.
My dream is for Jamaicans to appreciate their country more.
For us to express ourselves and work together as one independent nation.
I think that we should work on lowering the crime index as well. And also we need to increase our economy a little bit and we need to build up our environment as well, and we need to obey the laws.
To decrease the poverty, because many times I see homeless persons on the road begging for money because they have no food or shelter.
People will respect and obey the law so that every day can be an incident and accident-free day.
For us to be more appreciative of our teachers, because our teachers are basically our superheroes.
Thanks for tuning in to another Jamaica Magazine. Do join us again tomorrow for another lineup geared towards providing you with information on the government's policies and initiatives for building a better Jamaica. In the meantime, you may visit our website, jis.gov.jm, to re-watch this show or catch up on others we have on the site. I'm Adrian Atkinson, thanking you for watching. On behalf of the entire production team here at the JIS, walk good.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.